Alright, Miss Hannah, Miss Barnes here, and today the objective is angles of triangles.
So we have two theorems we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the triangle sum theorem, which says that all the interior angles, or the angles inside of the triangle, add up to equal 180. And the exterior angle theorem, which says if you have two remote angles, which are two angles inside of the triangle on the opposite of the exterior angle, then the two remote angles added together is going to equal the exterior angle.
And you know that it's the exterior angle because it's on the outside of the triangle. Now we're not talking about this angle. This angle right here would be supplementary. So we're talking about the two remote interior are going to be those on the opposite side. Alright, so here's some examples. Number one, we have a triangle and it says find x. So we're going to use the first theorem that Ms. Barnes was talking about. We know that the sum of all three is 180. So we know that 30 plus 50 plus x is going to give us 180. And when you are going to simplify this to make an equation, we are going to combine like terms. 30 plus 50 is 80. And to solve that equation, we are going to subtract 80 from both sides. And x is equal to 100 degrees. So that means this third angle has to be 100 degrees. Alright, so number two, we have an isosceles triangle. For those of you who have forgotten, an isosceles triangle is a triangle that means these two sides are the same. So if this side is 5, this side is 5. The other thing that's special about an isosceles triangle is the base angles are the same. Right here, this angle and this angle. Those are equal because it's the definition of an isosceles triangle. So in this isosceles triangle, I know that the top angle is 50 and the bottom two angles are x. And I know that those have to be congruent because it's an isosceles triangle. So my directions say find the base angles.
Alright, so we know that we can add the three angles together. So that's going to be x plus 50 equals 180. Because even though these are congruent, they all three still have to add up to equal 180. And Ms. Hill has already made them the same exact thing, x. So we're just going to add them together. So x plus x is 2x plus 50 equals 180. We're going to subtract 50 from both sides.
Okay. So I'm left with 2x equals 130. So I'm going to come up here. 2x equals 130.
So we're going to divide by 2, and that's going to give us what each x equals. So each of these is 65. And we can check both of the answers for this to make sure we've done it right, because all three angles should add up to equal 180 degrees.
Now this example is going to be about the exterior angle theorem, theorem number 2 that we just talked about. And it says that if you have an exterior angle, so in this example, angle 4, it's equal to the sum of the remote interior, sum meaning adding. So before I do anything, let's just kind of figure out what we're talking about. The remote interior angles are 1 and 2. So angle 1 plus angle 2 is going to equal angle 4. Because that's the theorem. The remote interior angles added together are going to equal that exterior angle. Now I know that angle 1 is 70 degrees because I've given it to you. 70 degrees. And this says angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So we know the word congruent means the same, the equal, the exact same. So angle 3 is also going to be 70 degrees. Now over here I'm not using angle 3, so I don't need to put anything over here. But I need to figure out angle 2 in order to figure out angle 4. So I have to use my triangle sum theorem, my angle sum theorem, to figure out what angle 2 is. So I'm going to add 70 plus 70 and x to get 180.
So 70 plus 70 is 140 plus x equals 180. You're going to subtract 140 on both sides. So you end up with x equals 40.
So I know that that is angle 2. So right here where it says find measure of angle 2, I know that that is 40 degrees. After we find angle 2, then we can find angle 4 by adding angle 1 and angle 2. 70 plus 40 is 110. So I know that angle 4 is equal to 110 degrees. Now there is another way that I want you to see. Because I gave you angle 3, which was 70, you could have used supplementary angles right here, or a straight angle. You know that these together have to be 180. So we could have subtracted 180 minus 70 to get 110. But I was just showing you how to use the exterior angle theorem.
And that's important to note that everything, even though we're learning these different theorems, everything always works together. These should still add up to equal 180. If you have a straight line, they should add up to equal 180 as well. So everything works together.
So here are our last two examples, 4 and 5. Number 4 says find the angle measures. So we have a triangle. And inside the three angles are 2x, 4x, and 3x. We know the theorem says that if you add the three angles, it's going to be 180. So I've shown you the equation down here. 2x plus 3x plus 4x is going to be 180. We need to solve that equation to find x.
All right, so we're going to combine like terms. 2x plus 3x plus 4x. That's going to be 5 plus 4, which is 9x, equals 180. And to simplify this, we need to divide both sides by 9. So you end up with x equals 20.
And we've talked about this. We go back to our question. Does our question say find x? It does not. The question says find the angle measurements. So we need to take our x value and substitute it in to find our angle measurements. So the first one, 2x, means 2 times 20, which is 40. So the first angle measurement is 40. The second one, 4 times 20, is going to be 80 degrees. So our second angle measurement is 80 degrees. And our third one is going to be 3 times 20, which is going to give us 60.
Now when we check our work and add all three of our angles up, 40 plus 80 plus 60 should add up to equal 180 degrees.
And that's what we want. So the last example, we have the exterior angle, and we know that the exterior angle is going to equal these two angles added together. Now in this example, I didn't give you a simple measurement, you have variable expressions. But I want to find x and the angles. So I need to add these together. 2x
Minus 23 plus 3x equals the exterior angle 102. So the Hamlet's going to simplify. It's 5x minus 23 equals 102.
And now I have a two-step equation. Now maybe you see the importance of solving equations because it's going to be everywhere else we are. 102 plus 23 is 125. And then when you divide both sides by 5, x is equal to 25. And that is one of my questions. X is 25. I can't stop there though. A lot of times you find x and then you stop. I need to find the angle measurements.
So you're going to take 25 and plug it in for each angle here. So you're going to have 2 times 25 minus 23, or 2 times 25 is 50, minus 23, I believe it's going to be 27.
So one angle is 27. And now this angle, when we plug in 25 for x, 3 times 25, we are going to get 75, which means this angle is 75 degrees. And like Ms. Barnes is talking about, if we want to check, we just need to add together 27 and 75. We should get 102. 7 plus 5 is 12, and that is 102. So we know that these two angles, when you add them together, are going to be your exterior angles. All right, and we're going to practice more.
See you tomorrow.